नमस्कार, मैं हूं जितेंद्र दीक्षित। दाऊद इब्राहिम, छोटा शकील, छोटा राजन, अबू सलीम, अरुण गौली, अश्विन नायक, ये ऐसे तमाम नाम हैं जो कि 80 और 90 के दशक की मुंबई में अपने खौफ से राज करते थे। इनकी वजह से मुंबई की सड़कों पर रोज़ाना खून बहा करता था। कारोबारी, बिल्डर्स, होटेलियर्स, फिल्मकार, ऐसे तमाम लोग चुन चुनकर मारे जा रहे थे। धमकी भरे फ़ोन कॉल्स आते थे जबरन उगाही के लिए, और मुंबई शहर में एक तरह से गैंग वॉर शुरू हो गया था। ये गिरोह क्योंकि आपस में भी लड़ते थे। खौफ में जी रही थी मुंबई। लेकिन ये सारा कुछ तब बदल गया जब एक IPS अफसर ने मुंबई पुलिस के क्राइम ब्रांच चीफ की जिम्मेदारी संभाली। वे शख्स थे डी शिवानंदन। डी शिवानंदन मुंबई के पुलिस कमिश्नर और फिर उसके बाद महाराष्ट्र पुलिस के DGP होकर रिटायर हुए। अब उस दौर पर अपने अनुभवों को लेकर उन्होंने एक किताब लिखी है, द ब्रह्मास्त्र अनलीस्ड, और इस किताब में उन्होंने बताया है कि उस वक्त की मुंबई कैसी थी और कैसे उन्होंने उस परिदृश्य को बदला, क्या उनकी रणनीति थी। डी शिवानंदन इस वक्त हमारे साथ NDTV के स्टूडियो में बातचीत के लिए मौजूद हैं। शिवानंदन साहब, स्वागत है आपका NDTV में।
थैंक यू सो मच जितेंद्र, इट्स ऑलवेज अ प्लेजर टॉकिंग टू यू।
वेलकम सर। सर, हम बातचीत की शुरुआत करेंगे। मैंने आपकी किताब पढ़ी है और पढ़कर मैं उस दौर में वापस चला गया जब मैं नया नया क्राइम बीट में आया था, और ये वो दौर था जब हम रोज़ाना एनकाउंटर्स और शूटआउट्स कवर किया करते थे, और टीवी चैनलों पर ये नाम आए दिन दिखाई देते थे जो अभी मैंने गैंगस्टर्स के नाम लिए। आपसे भी मेरा परिचय उसी दौरान हुआ। आपसे मैं अपने दर्शकों के लिए समझना चाहूँगा कि जब आपने बतौर क्राइम ब्रांच चीफ टेक ओवर किया, चार्ज लिया, उस समय की मुंबई कैसी थी?
Jitendra, thank you for asking me this question and taking me back in the memory lane. The actual gangsterism or the mafia started somewhere in 1940, 50, 60. That time was Afghanistan-based. Our Karim Lala Pathan gang, as it was known, was there. Haji Mastan came about 20, 30 years. He also had a say. Varadarajan Mudaliar had about 20 years run. All three of them were there. They distributed the area, all that together. They were living kind of a harmony where they were not mutually shooting at each other. Then came the Dawood Ibrahim factor, where ambitious youngsters like today's IIM, IIT guys come with a portfolio, ambition, ye karna, wo karna. So these gangsters also came with that new level of vision, mission and all that. No holds bar war took place, where Mumbai street was flooded with blood and gore. Government stood mutely there and they were watching. The Mumbai police was alleged by various people like you, Patrakars, were telling that these people are with this gang is this unit is with that people, that and all that kind of a thing. So many things took place that time. Shootout at Wadala, shootout at Lokhandwala, shootout here, shootout there. 1982 was the first shootout actually by the police. And then so many things took place. To sum it up, Jitendra, to run your memory, you also joined in 98. The police was also doing all their and so-called encounters or shootout or whatever it is. Gangsters were on the spree and they shot each other mercilessly here. And then they went, graduated and started shooting people in foreign countries. For example, Bangkok and Nepal and various other places. Later, if you ask me a question, I will elaborate on that. So that boldness, they brought AK-57, AK-47, and they brought hand grenades. They brought all sorts of equipment and technology too. In this development, they went abroad and started using virtual private network. They safeguarded themselves. Others were cannon fodder. To sum it up, to tell you, Prasthiti kaisa tha. In 98, July 1st, I joined Jitendra. You also would have come around that time. already 40-50 murders by shootout only of the businessmen had taken place. And the mahal of 97 was created by a petition by Abu Azmi against the Mumbai police doing a alleged false encounter of a person called Javed Fauda, if you remember,
Yes.
given to Mr. Justice Aguiar by the Bombay High Court. And the Bombay High Court was submitted a report by Mr. Justice Aguiar that not only Javed Fauda murder was a fake encounter, 95 others were also fake. So all these so-called heroes, encounter specialists, were all considered to be murderers by the judicial system. They went into cold storage. That is the time this criminal peaked out. They said, okay, now let us go on the rampage. So in 97, let us say about 70-80 murders of businessmen if had taken place. Now it is 101 in 1 year. That is every 3 days or 3.5 days, one shootout, not a murder. Murder can be gale daba ke ho sakta hai, chaku churi mein ho sakta, but shootout mein with a bullet, people died. That was not a sight. It was collapse of law and order, Jitendra.
Sir, just before opposite the police commissioner's head office.
That is, you are talking about Rupam, Bharat Shah.
Yeah.
Bharat Shah. See, these are all like guerrilla attacks, Jitendra. They come, you and me are doing this show, they walk in and shoot at one person and go away. So that is, whether you are in the CP office or whether nearby or not, unless we had advanced intelligence, which I had later.
Yeah.
I had superior intelligence. I knew that they are going to shoot at somebody. We were there. That is how we brought the Brahmastra to control this. But that will come later. So the Mahol, Aisa tha, somebody bought a flat, immediate call, Alishan flat ले लिया क्या हमको 5 कोटी दे दो 15 कोटी जो मुंह मांगे बोल रहे थे किसी बेटी को शादी हुआ मरीन ड्राइव में हाँ आलिशान शादी हो गया है इतना दे दो सो गाड़ी लिया तो मारुति लिया तो भी लेक्सस लिया या मर्सिडीज लिया they precisely used to describe to those businessmen what kind of a sari the businessman's wife was wearing on that day. Or which class, in which school his child is going. People used to tremble and shiver. And kidnapping, Bablu Srivastava was kidnapping. For example, our Mittal, Vishwanath Mittal was kidnapped right in the middle of the road. One police constable, thank God, saw. So we chased and brought him alive. He lived long enough. Almost 95, 96, 97 years he lived. So these are the things which happened. So there was absolutely uncontrolled activity. They could come on motorcycles and hammer a car from both sides and fire. For example, in 95, Sunit Katav was shot right in front of the Mahalakshmi station. 97, Gulshan Kumar was shot right outside the mandir he built. Even the god could not save him. Then Taqiyuddin Wahid, East West Airlines. Vallabh Takkar, Natwar Lal Shah, Manish Lala. So many people. Pradeep Jain in Gulmohar Society. Yeah. I can give you names. But then they were high net worth individuals, Jitendra. They were not ordinary people that the society could ignore. So that is the situation where I had come. And I was given a charge where no one wanted to take charge. And I was given a job description. Here is a bucket of water. Here is a mug. Now you splash the way you like. So it was a carte blanche. Do whatever you want, but jo yogya hai, wo hona chahiye. That is the charge I got.
So let's go a decade back. ये जो अंडरवर्ल्ड में खून खराबा हुआ, ये जैसा आपने बताया दाऊद की एंट्री के बाद से हुआ. उसके पहले जो 3-4 नाम थे बड़े, करीम लाला, हाजी मस्तान, वरदाराजन मुदलियार, यूसुफ पटेल, they were friends. They had divided their areas, they had divided their business. वो सारा कुछ उन्होंने बांट रखा था. आपकी किताब में ही एक ऐसी मिसाल आती है हाजी मस्तान और वरदाराजन मुदलियार के दोस्ती की, कि जब वरदाराजन मुदलियार मुंबई से भाग गया और उसकी डेथ हुई तो हाजी मस्तान ने उसकी अंतिम इच्छा पूरी की थी. वो अंतिम इच्छा क्या थी और किस तरह से उसको पूरी किया गया था, वो आई वांट टू लिसन टू दैट स्टोरी.
ये जो है, whatever is the incident, all right, we will come to that. But I want to tell why the dosti. See, all this Chicago mafia, Sicilian mafia, all they have a conference, conclave, they sit together and distribute. तुम narcotics करेगा, हम smuggling करेगा, हम gold करेगा, तुम arms ammunition करेगा, like that. Here, these two guys whom we mentioned, both are from Tamil Nadu. Both of them knew only Tamil. And both of them were having a kind of an affection. That time this Hindu-Muslim business was not there. In Tamil Nadu, we never knew what is the difference between one religion to the other religion. So they had a kind of a coexistence. They would help each other. And they lived together. Another common factor amongst them was that they worked in the port. So the sea is the source of living for them. Smuggling, various other racketeering, bringing stuff inside. They were all common things and they had an understanding. The other thing is, they had an understanding all through. Even today, I must say, no gangster would ever shoot each other's family, children, wives.
सर ये जो किस्सा है जिसमें उसकी अंतिम इच्छा थी कि मुंबई में ही उसका अंतिम संस्कार
They hired a special plane, Jitendra.
Yeah.
He was brought by a special plane and they did that. But by the time the Mumbai police had no dushmani with that dead man, old man and all that. So, but
so sir, I just, for the sake of knowledge of our viewers, वरदाराजन मुदलियार जब भागकर मुंबई से भागकर तमिलनाडु चला गया और वहाँ पर जब उसकी डेथ हुई तो उसकी अंतिम इच्छा थी कि उसका अंतिम संस्कार मुंबई में कराया जाए और ये काम उसके दोस्त हाजी मस्तान ने किया और उसके लिए वो विशेष विमान से वरदाराजन मुदलियार के शव को मुंबई लेकर आया और खुद उसने उसका अंतिम संस्कार यहाँ पर कराया.
Correct. His son was there. Recently he has passed away.
Yeah.
Whose son? Vardarajan Mudaliar's son passed away recently. Allegedly it says that he never indulged in this activity. Allegedly they were running a hotel in Chennai. All that is a fact. Now we are talking about dosti, pyar, all that kind of thing amongst them. I gave you the reason why. They lived together, they shared the booty together, they supported each other, common language of Tamil. For example, your Haji Mastan did not know any other language than Tamil. Every day he used to get the Tamil newspaper by the first flight from Chennai and then he will read and understand what was happening. So that is the Dosti Pyari ka thing. Whereas later if you saw, cousins were shot dead and relatives were shot dead, father, mother also they would shoot. Then Niyam and the Niyati completely changed by the entry.
Sir, here this Tamil affinity reminds me that you are also from Tamil Nadu and during your college days you were part of anti-Hindi protest. आप उस आंदोलन में थे, हिंदी विरोधी आंदोलन में आप शामिल थे.
Those days were 66, 67, 68 time, where Annadurai and DMK were encashing upon this sentiment. Even today, Jitendra, Tamil Nadu is very sensitive to about Hindi being forced upon them. Otherwise, I speak perfect Hindi, I speak perfect Marathi. But after coming here, I learned, I will learn any other language also. But that was that Bachpana 66. But I must tell you, when we were all agitating, a movie called Aradhana ran for 2 years in the same cinema theater. All of us went there in college festivals and all. They used to sing songs, to Rani Hai, to that kind of a song. They with that mouth organ. Yeah. So Hindi agitation was not against Hindi, but against forcing it down our throat. I was a small boy, so that way. We got 0, perfect 0 in Hindi as an exam. We never appeared. But then it was not counted for the total thing also. But okay, to compensate that, I can talk to you in Bombaya Hindi and bombard you with my Bombaya Vada Pav Hindi. Yeah. I can do that. Yeah. But then that was a zamana where no one knew what the future was. That I would go to Maharashtra, work here, learn Hindi, Marathi was never imagined. School final days. Yeah.
सर कमिंग बैक टू योर जॉइंट सीपी क्राइम डेज, आप ही के कार्यकाल में बॉलीवुड और अंडरवर्ल्ड के नेक्सस के तोड़ने के लिए मुंबई पुलिस ने मुहिम छेड़ दी थी. बॉलीवुड और अंडरवर्ल्ड के लोग 80 के दशक से हम देखते आएंगे इनके बीच में बहुत ही अच्छा रिश्ता था. उसके पहले भी इवन हाजी मस्तान या फिर करीम लाला से भी ये फिल्मी हस्तियां मिलते थे. हमने तस्वीरें देखी हैं शशि कपूर, अमिताभ बच्चन, दिलीप कुमार, इन लोगों के मिलते हुए ऐसे पुराने डॉन्स के साथ में. लेकिन 90 के दशक में जब आपका कार्यकाल था तब पहली बार मुंबई पुलिस ने इस इंडस्ट्री, इन दोनों की इंडस्ट्री के बीच में जो नेक्सस खड़ा हुआ उसको तोड़ने का काम किया. वो कैसे हुआ था?
See, I want to take you back through a memory lane a bit. During that time, this movie called Diwar, Muqaddar Ka Sikandar, Zanjeer and all. That's the time again I was in the formative age. I got impressed with the police and all that. I was not impressed with the gangster. Like he came from UP, stood there, saw a board. In the next 2-3 scene के बाद में 3-piece suit पहन के बहुत बड़ा builder हो गया. ऐसा होने का मेरा. But police officer होने का ख्वाहिश जो है वो जंजीर से शुरू हुआ ऐसा बोल सकता है. Now this Bollywood always had a soft underbelly. How? They are in the open. They have to be open people. They can't be protecting themselves under kavach. They can't have 100 policemen protecting a Shah Rukh Khan or a Salman Khan or a Rajkumar or a Raj Kapoor and things like that. But in the beginning, as you mentioned, 80s mein, they got money absolutely from the gangsters at usurious interest rate. Maybe 60%, maybe 80%, and many people were not able to return. बुड़ गए तो return नहीं किया, वो क्या किया gangster ने किया पता नहीं है. The nexus was that actually, because the money came from them easily. Why? I will tell you that also. The government did not recognize this film industry as an industry. So there was no loan coming from a bank or a Sarkari organization like IDBI or NFDC and various others. They never lent money. So where would these guys go? Anybody would come, some Nazim Rizvi, who is a spot boy, chori chori chupke mein pakad ke 6 saal unko conviction hua. These kind of people, some Air India ka loader had become a big producer, some small time boy, tea selling boy has become a big organizer. Things like that happened. Where from the money will come? The money came at a very high cost from these gangsters. So gangsters said, मेरे ऊपर एक movie बनाओ. मुकद्दर का सिकंदर हो गया. They wanted to show that. Daddy हो गया अरुण गवली के ऊपर. Then मनिया सुरवे के ऊपर shoot out वडाला. माया डोलस के ऊपर shoot out लोकड़वाला. So many things. In that Jitendra, they decided who will be the hero. My man, my young boy will be hero. This girl will be, my niece will be heroine. Music director will be my favorite man. These are the things which happened. That became a complete nexus. We never wanted to break or anything like that. Neither we were told nor our task. In our general sweep, I was sweeping across everywhere. Wherever these gangsters operated, we had intelligence, I had information, I had evidence. I moved like a bulldozer.
Sir, but tell me one thing. ये जो सारे फिल्म स्टार्स हैं, जो बड़े बड़े नाम हैं, वो फिल्मों में तो बहुत मतलब उनकी हेरोइक डीड्स दिखाते हैं, मारपीट करते हैं, बड़े से बड़े क्रिमिनल्स को पीट डालते हैं. लेकिन आपका अनुभव क्या, जब ये मामला आपने चलाया, तो जब ऐसे ही बड़े बड़े फिल्म स्टार्स को, ऑल दीज ग्लैमरस नेम्स, जब आपने उनको बतौर गवाह बुलाया कि आप आके कोर्ट में गवाही दीजिए, तब इनकी क्या हालत हुई?
17 of them were lined up, including Shah Rukh Khan and so many others. There was only one lady called Preeti Zinta. She stuck to her guns and stood by that. All others turned turtle. Now, I'm not blaming them. I'm not finding fault with them. Even today, when Salman Khan's house is being shot at, in the terrace they shoot, the Disha Patnika house has been fired upon in they are soft. They are vulnerable. And the government at a given time cannot give so much of protection to all of them. So when Rakesh Roshan was shot in January 2000, the entire film industry came and bajawed the CM and Deputy CM and me too. I was sitting there. They all fired. They said, we will take away the entire film industry of 20 lakhs of people to Hyderabad. So we had to go behind all these things and find out what is this thing. So in our intelligence collection, we ran into the information about Chori Chori Chupke, and we made a thing. Bharat Shah was arrested, and he got convicted. 1 year he got convicted. He spent sufficient time behind the bars. Rizvi and one more man got 6 years of rigorous imprisonment. All that happened under MCOCA, my Brahmastra.
Sir, you mentioned about Bharat Shah. भरत शाह उस वक्त बॉलीवुड के सबसे बड़े प्रोड्यूसर थे, सबसे बड़े फिल्म फाइनेंसर थे, और उनको आपने गिरफ्तार कर लिया था. मैंने आपके लैपटॉप में एक तस्वीर देखी है, विच आई हैव सो मेनी टाइम्स आस्क्ड यू टू शेयर इट विथ मी, विच यू डोंट, बट इन एनी केस आप मुझे खाली इतना बताइए कि जब इतने बड़े नाम को आपने गिरफ्तार किया तो क्या आप पर किसी तरह का दबाव आया था, पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर आया था कि इसको छोड़ दो, इसको मत जाने दो, बिकॉज वो भी बहुत ही पॉलिटिकली कनेक्टेड आदमी थे भरत शाह।
Yeah, he was very well connected all over the world. He was chairman of some London diamond boards and things like that. And his daughter's marriage and all was done with crores of rupees, and the entire political higher-ups were there in Wankhede Stadium. I have done bandobast also there, and all that is fine. For me, Jitendra, evidence. When I arrest somebody, will that stand in the court of law, or I am arresting somebody for the namesake? For example, Salman Khan did, I summoned him, grilled him for 6 hours there in the crime branch. Then when he was going, all the patrakars fell over, head over heels, kali gir gaya, camera toot gaya, vagera vagera hua tha. But then I assess the evidence against each individual, whether this guy should be arrested or that guy should be arrested. Only when evidence came pakka that I will stand in the court and get a conviction, I arrested. So,
तो सर उस वक्त में क्या सलमान खान भी आपके रडार पे था? आप लोग ये भी सोच रहे थे कि सलमान खान को भी अरेस्ट कर सकते थे?
Sorry to butt in. My sweeping machine was sweeping all over. Anybody who will come in the Kargar range would get affected. But we were not tapping anybody's phone. I must tell you, I did not tap Bharat Shah's telephone. I did not know Nazim Razvi, no Salman Khan, no nothing, no cinema person. I am telling you the truth. But then I was tapping the telephone of Daud Ibrahim and Chota Shakil.
Yeah.
And I was tapping the telephone of Chota Rajan. And that is my book. I say how I was going about and went to BSNL and innocently asked the top man, can I take a foreign number? He said, हाँ, gateway to yahan hai. That opened us the cornucopia, not the Pandora's box. I got into a gold mine, a diamond mine of information, where the same Bollywood, for example, Amir Khan, Mahesh Bhatt, O.P. Datta, all of them had a threat. And I had put my people around. I can tell you the date and time. 3-4 log aaye the in the police action. Whatever happened, happened. They were all absolutely safe. Absolutely. So we didn't open up the Bollywood. We saved the Bollywood actually. We got the industry status for them. So Bollywood should be very grateful to me for having elevated them from that usurious interest and all other atrocities gangsters did to those people. Like they were summoned like this by Daud Ibrahim to Dubai. I did see immigration. 83 Kalakar by one of the most famous actor had gone to entertain that girl, his daughter's birthday. They went in one flight. Next day morning by about 12 o'clock, they all came. I can pull the immigration thing and give you the names of each musician and the Kalakar, the biggest actor. Okay, that Bharat Shah ka picture aapko kabhi bhi chahiye to main dega. Why I did not give is, we don't want to humiliate anybody. I have no personal enmity against Bharat Shah or anybody for that matter. It is a professional approach where we don't humiliate anybody, no personal enmity at all. Between you and me, I never met Bharat Shah in my custody. I never met him at all. What is the need? My people are doing their reporting. I brief them. I get the job done.
Sir, I have 2 questions. आपने जो narrate किया, एक तो सर ये सलमान खान किस तरह से आपके रडार पर आया था कि और
see, listen, Sanjay Dutt was talking to them all the time. In Nasik, we had a 45 minutes of thing. He stood in the court of law and said, "Hi, mera voice hai. वो कौन था, क्या था, पता नहीं," and all that happened. Okay, fine. Sanjay Dutt was involved in that 93 thing also. तो radar तो मैं था. So here in Chori Chupke, in all that happened, he had come under the radar, under the investigation. We investigated and found that there is nothing to include him and get evidence to convict him or make him stand trial. So that much. So there is no evidence. So let us not take his name often. But otherwise people might think that he was involved in crime. There is no crime in which he was involved where evidence or otherwise is there. Okay, that buck, that black buck and all that is a different matter. In my case, there was no evidence against him to prosecute him. Okay.
सर हम अभी बात कर रहे हैं डी कंपनी की. दाऊद इब्राहिम का दाहिना हाथ हुआ करता था छोटा राजन, जो 94 में उससे अलग हो गया. अलग होने के बाद में जो मीडिया को इंटरव्यूज़ दिए छोटा राजन ने, तो ये बताया कि दाऊद इब्राहिम जो है वो देशद्रोही था और देश के साथ में उसने गद्दारी की, और छोटा राजन ने खुद को पैट्रियोट बताया, राष्ट्रभक्त बताया, और ये रीज़न बताया कि इसकी वजह से अलग हुआ है। क्या वाकई में यही कारण रहा है इन दोनों के अलगाव का, या कुछ और कारण था?
If I interpolate and bring other stories into this, always they came together and fell. They means the entire organized gangsters, organized crime gangsters, for money. They came, they worked, they fell apart. Maybe for a girl they fought it out, they fell apart, shot each other. So basically it was all
So
for
in your
money.
book you have mentioned a specific incident which led to enmity between these two guys. One shootout which Chota Rajan had ordered without consent of Daud Ibrahim, and I think that was also one of the trigger points.
See, listen, that's what I'm telling you. All these gangsters came together. For that matter, even Arun Gawli, Amar Naik were all working, beginning with Daud Ibrahim. They come together, fell, they learn, then they have an ambition of forming their own small empire. For example, Abu Salem worked with him. He got convicted in the Bombay bomb blast. That's why we brought him from Lisbon and he got convicted. Pradeep Jain murder also he got convicted. So these people come, they learn the trick, they have an ambition. Okay, I have a satellite phone, go and harass the Bollywood. That's what Abu Salem did. He's still in jail in Taloja. Yeah. So that kind of a thing might have happened there. But what is the definition of organized crime, Jitendra? That is humongous amount of money being pursued by pursuit of violence, with the help of violence. That is the definition. So these guys might have fallen out because some wrong shooting was done, or some wrong money was not given, or somebody ran away with the money, or whatever it is. But this man cleverly wore a halo around his head. I am a Hindu Don. I am a patriotic Don. So even on the day when I took charge as the joint, the very same day, 2 chaps were shot in Santa Cruz. They were the part of that 8 people who participated in the Bombay bomb blast in 1993 came out on bail. So he said, oh, the gangsters don't get punished by the system. It will take 20 years. When they come out on bail, I'll shoot them. He self-appointed executioner he became. He was working for Malaysia, Cambodia. So he did eliminate 8, 9 of them. Even Additional Commissioner Thapa, who was responsible for the smuggling of the weapons, was called to Rangasharda. He was also tried to shoot out, but he didn't die. So like that, Chota Rajan wore the mantle of being a nationalistic, patriotic Don. He did kill a member of parliament called Mirza Beg. He was
Nepalese member of parliament.
That is member of parliament, and he was the agent of Daud Ibrahim. He did Operation Honeypot and killed him there. When he came on the TV, maybe he came on the TV, whatever TV, I don't want to name them. So said, I did this, I'm responsible, I did this for 1, 2, 3 things, I'm the nationalist patriotic Don. But it is all just bahana, that is just a halo he was wearing around himself. That's saying that the Muslims are different, I am different. But if that is so, why he was doing so much of extortion and killing after that also? The same Hindus and others were only as victims. So that is all, I will say, funny.
Sir, about their enmity, there was one incident where shooters from D company reached Bangkok, जहाँ पर कि उनको जानकारी मिली थी कि छोटा राजन छुपा हुआ है. उन लोगों ने वहाँ पहुँचकर शूट आउट किया, जिसमें छोटा राजन इंजर्ड हो गया और छोटा राजन का एक साथी था रोहित वर्मा, उसकी मौत हो गई. ये एक एग्जाम्पल है कि किस तरह से मुंबई अंडरवर्ल्ड जो है वो दुनिया के दूसरे कोनों में भी जाकर वहाँ पर भी खून खराबा कर रहा था. आप भी उस वक्त जॉइंट सीपी क्राइम थे मुंबई पुलिस का, आप भी इसके इन्वेस्टिगेशन में गए थे, आपने अधिकारियों को भी भेजा था. वो कहानी सुनाइए सर.
ये फैंटास्टिक कहानी. जितेंद्र, we will do one full episode one day. You take 2 hours of recording. In short, we in the crime branch knew that Chota Rajan was in Australia. First time I'm telling, nobody else has heard this from us. He had a Trichy-based passport, where his mother's name was given as Saraswati and his name was Vijay. Original passport falsely obtained from Trichy passport office. We informed the Australian police, they were hot on his heels. He, having learnt about it, he shifted from Australia to Bangkok. Now, In Bangkok, he stayed in Rohit Verma's house. Now, who is Rohit Verma? Rohit Verma was running a jewelry shop under a cover with a different name, some D'Souza or some such name, Michael D'Souza or some such name he had. But then Rohit Verma was his trusted lieutenant who killed Taqiyuddin Wahid, who was allegedly connected to Dawood Ibrahim, or allegation was there like that. But he was the CEO and MD of the East West Airlines. Rohit Verma shot him. Then he ran away with his wife, Sangeeta, and he stayed there in an apartment. Chota Rajan came and stayed in his thing, all under different names. He was Michael D'Souza, Chota Rajan was Vijay, mother was Saraswati, all that kind of a thing. These guys keep track of them. Even today, they keep track of all their activities. And they were after his blood. So they assembled a team. Munna Zingada. And Munna Zingada now has gone to Pakistan from Bangkok as if he's a Pakistani. We tried his level best. Even after retirement, I went to Bangkok on behalf of the government to bring him here and all that. But this showed their operational capability. He set up a team of 8-9 people. That happened to be Chota Rajan's birthday. And these people took a cake and flowers and went and rang the bell. They had guns concealed. And Rohit Verma opened. They fired. Andhadhund fire kiya hai AK-47 mein. He died with 30-40 bullets in the stomach. He died on the spot. Chota Rajan ko bhi 2-4 goli laga, maybe in the stomach. He jumped out of the window. There was a garbage dump. And then some people came, police came. He was taken to hospital. Every day they shifted. They only did all that. But the police was protecting them. And with the, you told me about me. I was to go and all that. But then I was working here to take him under extradition treaty. Completely it was done. We followed every step. We went and met Mr. L.K. Advani. Who? Me, Mr. Chhagan Bhujbal, the then Deputy CM. M.R. Patil was additional CS Home. Our Mr. Eman Singh and others, me. Others means me. We went and met. All that we did. But then, this Chota Rajan agreed to come with my Shankar Kamble ACP in the beginning. He was convinced. So, abhi jayenge to theek ho jayega. Mumbai police humko marega nahi. All that ashwasan or guarantee we had given. But then something happened. Somebody very highly placed person sent a message to him that you don't go, we'll take care of you and things like that. Then having waited for a month or more, we couldn't afford to keep for unendingly our people. So I brought back my Shankar Kamble and others. The picture is there. I can share that with you. And then mysteriously one night he vanished with using mountaineering rope and all that. He vanished and then he could never be sighted until he came and maybe was caught in Bali or surrendered in Bali. He is safely in Delhi, whatever jail, Tihar jail or whatever jail, he is there safely there in that. That is the kahani of these people going international. If you see movie Company, they show in an African country, they show the African people, but then it is exactly what happened in Bangkok. September 2000.
Sir, in your book, I have read that there was a rivalry within D Company as well. Chota Shakil, जो right hand man था दाऊद का, और अनीश इब्राहिम जो दाऊद का भाई था, इनके बीच में अनबन थी, इनके बीच में तकरार होती थी, वो किस लिए था?
You know, all that basically is distribution of money, shooting people, collecting the booty, and various ego issues. So ego, basically it is ego, that am I superior, are you superior? These are all the things which happened. For example, that boy who shot Ramadas Naik, 18, 19-year-old boy, he had schizophrenia, psychological problem. He had AK-47. He went beyond his boots. And he was called to Karachi. Feroz Kokani only. He escaped from JJ hospital and all that. He was taken allegedly as a story because we have no proof. He was called to Karachi. He had grown beyond his boots. He was done to death. If you ask me for proof, I don't have. This is the folklore. But because after that he was never seen in Mumbai or anywhere in the world.
It is said that he wanted to replace Chota Shakil और उसने छोटा शकील के बर्थडे केक पर सम गाइज वे सेलिब्रेटिंग छोटा शकील्स बर्थडे इन जेल, और उसने बर्थडे केक पे थूक दिया था, एंड दिस न्यूज़ रीच्ड छोटा शकील, और उसके बाद में
Precisely, Jitendra, you are explaining my theory that these are that egoistic, psychologically affected people who were growing out of their boots very fast because he had an AK-47 and various other things. So between Anis and Chota Shakil was staying with him in Karachi. He was managing the entire crime scenario. Anis was in Dubai. So that is the kind of a equation. Anyway, the legacy, the bye का जो है, वो बाई बंदूकी जो है, उसके ऊपर तो छोटा शकील cannot rule. I hope you understand.
Yes, yes. सर, आपने जब क्राइम ब्रांच चीफ का चार्ज लिया तो आप भले ही जो है उसको सबसे कारगर तरीका ना मानते हो एनकाउंटर्स को, आपका कहना है कि मकोका जैसा कानून, MCOC जैसे कानून ने भी बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई ऑर्गेनाइज क्राइम की कमर तोड़ने में, लेकिन ये भी उतना ही सच है कि एनकाउंटर्स ने भी जो है एक खौफ पैदा करने में गैंगस्टरों के मन में बड़ी भूमिका अदा की थी। अब उसी दौरान सर 4-5 ऐसे अधिकारी जो है वो एनकाउंटर स्पेशलिस्ट के तौर पर फेमस हो गए, मशहूर हो गए, और उनकी तारीफ भी होती थी, उनकी लार्जर देन लाइफ इमेज भी बन गई, उनके ऊपर फिल्में भी बनी। लेकिन कुछ सालों बाद जब आप क्राइम ब्रांच से हट के CBI में चले गए और बाद में अलग अलग पोजीशंस पे, लेकिन उसके बाद में ये हुआ कि ये जितने भी एनकाउंटर स्पेशलिस्ट अधिकारी थे उसमें से लगभग सभी खुद क्रिमिनल मामलों में फंस गए और लगभग सभी को जेल जाना पड़ा, एक्सेप्ट विजय सालस्कर। जितने भी नाम हम गिनाएंगे, चाहे वो प्रदीप शर्मा हो, दया नायक हो, रविंद्र आंग्रे हो, प्रफुल्ल भोसले हो, जितने भी लोग थे, इन सबको बाद में जेल जाना पड़ा। तो सर ये ऐसा क्या हो गया कि जो लोग कानून के प्रोटेक्टर्स माने जाते थे, हीरो के जैसे ट्रीट किए जाते थे, वो खुद जो है इस तरह के मामलों में फंस गए?
Now, Jitendra, again you asked me a fantastic question. I can take 2 hours to explain, but then I'll make it brief because this episode will be a shorter one. The encounter is nothing called, there is no word called encounter in police law or language or IPC or BNS or anywhere, nowhere. Encounter is man meets man or man meets girl, sparks fly, and whoever falls in love or gets shot dies. That's the kind of thing. Actually, to demystify, this is done under section 100 of the Indian Penal Code under the name of right of private defense. Now this right of private defense gives you authority to go and kill the opponent if there is imminent danger to the life of yourself or the other person who is going along with you. For example, a husband and wife is going, some threat is happening to her, either she'll be raped or killed. Husband can go to the extent of killing that alleged rapist. Example, I'm giving an example. Police was also doing like that only. They went and then challenged and the fellow shot, this fellow shot, that happened. In that police people also died. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि police लोग मरे नहीं. For example, Batla encounter case in Delhi, Manoj Sharma died. So like that, even in JJ Hospital.
Mohan Chand Sharma.
Whoever it is, Sharma,
Yeah.
M. Sharma was the name. So like that we can tell, even in Mumbai, before I joined, 2 weeks before in Malad, 2 constables were done to death while they were doing patrolling. So then many other, in the railways also it happened and all that. So these officers who mentioned by name, they might have done everything, but they got famous by the movies. I don't know who financed them. And then the glitzy magazines, newspapers, they made them larger than their life size. They had ulterior motive. They crossed the Rubicon and they paid money. For Lakhan Bhaiya encounter, it was allegedly a murder. Then people got convicted and people were in jail and various other things. Angre also was arrested. I was the Thane CP when Angre was arrested. He was there for 14 months in the jail, and so all others. Unfortunately, Vijay Salaskar died to Kasab's bullet on 26/11/2008. Very unfortunate incident. All these people were good to start with, and they did whatever was they thought is fit, As long as they were not doing anything unlawful, they were safe. When I left the Joint CP Crimes job, maybe the supervisory control was not adequately strong. They went astray, but they all were taken to task. Multiple times they were arrested, multiple times they were suspended, multiple times they were reinvested. Even now, after retirement, after going to jail, some of them are running their own fiefdom. So this is unruly, unlawful, unwanted, illegal activity for which all of them paid. I hope adequately I have answered. There is a slackness in the supervisory control also.
ये आपने बहुत ही बेबाक तरीके से बात कही और मुझे लगता है कि आप जब हटे क्राइम ब्रांच से उसके बाद में ही ये मामले एक के बाद एक होना शुरू हुए और ये जो तमाम लोग जो कभी हीरो के तौर पर पेश किए जाते थे वो विलेन बन गए अचानक में.
Say for example, you are Yunus Khaja death in custody, 17 people. Telgi, 17 people.
Yes.
Afro's case and all that happened after I left. There is ultimately I don't want to say the top leader has to be absolutely honest, above board integrity. I will name Mr. R.H. Mendonca here. Solid rock. He supported all of us. He supported me for doing everything. Okay, now your first question you asked, I answered the main theme. But I want to tell you that it is not the encounter which solved the issue. Again, I am telling. Incidentally, it could be there. It could be there. It stopped completely. Encounter also stopped for 25 years almost after I finished my operation. But please believe me, 1,600 criminals were detained for 1 year by the Commissioner of Police. 95% success in the High Court. They all go to High Court. So 1,600 man years was spent behind the bars. So when I put Subhash Singh Thakur for the JJ hospital, I took it up the case in the court, got him convicted with a hanging, which was converted into, since then he is in jail. That much crime should come down. Right. So 1,600 criminals for 1 year in jail, that much crime came down. Okay. Next one is all these fellows used guns, AK-47 and pistols, Afghanistan, pistol and all that. I recovered 2,503 years by hiking the reward. Give such reward to them through GR, government resolution. People got enticed with that. They went and brought all of the weapons. So that is another help. I also made a statement that anybody who will draw a gun in my jurisdiction will not live to put it back in the holster. Aisa maine bola tha. That is to boost the morale of the police. But they went and acted on that. Then a new law was made in which Bharat Shah was arrested, a sitting judge called J.W. Singh was arrested. Milind Vaidya case, if you ask me to explain, give me a chance again, I will explain. That is how it became Brahmastra. Now, ultimately, one more strategy is the telephone tapping through VSNL of Chota Rajan in Malaysia, Cambodia, and Karachi, Dubai. All numbers we have taken. So my mission in life that time, you were a rookie reporter and you were learning all those things, the blood bath should stop. The extortion calls, I had recorded 10,000, 20,000 calls. All businessmen were crying like children because they were this. So all the builders shoot out from 98, 99 completely stopped.
Sir, you mentioned about J.W. Singh. उस वक्त क्या अंडरवर्ल्ड की पैठ इतनी ज़्यादा बढ़ गई थी कि उन्होंने जुडिशरी को भी अपने कब्जे में ले लिया था?
It was not true. कब्जे में नहीं लिया है. इकबाल शेख बोल के एक रिलेटेड लॉयर था.
लियाकत अली शेख.
हाँ, लियाकत अली शेख. इकबाल शेख नहीं, sorry. लियाकत अली शेख was working for this group, and then he went to the house, befriended him, used his phone to connect him to Daud Ibrahim and Chota Shakil, and conversation, 3 conversation, 45 minutes there. So then he wanted to recover some 45 lakhs given to
the judge wanted to recover
Vinod Abrol. तो BC में लिया था, वो नहीं दे रहा है वगैरह वगैरह. He had a grievance and this guy was trying to be pally with him and all that. So in that incontrovertible evidence I got and we prosecuted him. He was in the lockup for 28.
तो उसने उस जज ने क्या कोई फेवर भी किया था कि छोटा शकील गैंग के लोगों को छोड़ दिया गया उससे फेवर?
That akada analysis we didn't do, but the conversation does say that sir वो पैसा तो हम आपको निकवर करके दे देंगे, वो छोड़िए, ये एनकाउंटर वाले को कुछ तो कुछ आप विलेवाट करके निपटा दीजिए, उनको फिनिश करिए. That was the more of the conversation from Chota Shakil and the judge J.W. Singh. J.W. Singh was also more keen on collecting the money and rather than getting into a conversation about eliminating the encounter specialists.
He was acquitted on technical grounds.
That is some cassette was used in which it was used earlier in the deposition. The officer had said it's a fresh cassette. But then the judge was also looking for an opportunity to leave perhaps a fellow judge. I don't know. I'm not able to analyze that. But then he did get an acquittal. But 28 months he was there.
सर आप जब जॉइंट सीपी क्राइम थे उस दौरान IC-814 ये जो इंडियन एयरलाइंस का विमान था उसकी हाईजैकिंग हुई थी काठमांडू से भारत आते वक्त में. उस केस को डिटेक्ट करने में मुंबई पुलिस ने भी एक भूमिका अदा की थी. वो किस्सा क्या है सर?
Fantastic it was. The Captain Attar, brother of that Masood, the dreaded criminal, he got 2 passports, one from Navi Mumbai and one from Mumbai, aided and abetted by the local people. Let us say sleeper cell, ऐसा भी बोल सकते हैं. So they went to Kathmandu and they hijacked. They went to Amritsar, then Kandahar and all. That is all known to everybody. Mr. Hemant Karkare, he was very close to me. He worked with me multiple times, and he was working in the Cabinet Secretariat or R&AW as you call. He came to my room and gave a number, whatever number, A, B, C, D, F, G, H. They were not able to locate with their meager resources. He said crime branch is capable of doing it. He had also worked in crime branch earlier as a DCP.
Yes.
So since he's 6 years junior to me, I was very fond of him, and he gave reliable information that this is the phone used. Unfortunately, Jitendra, we did not have any technology to track. So we followed all the traditional systems. Kabhi wo phone mein baat karta tha. So then we heard some cows making noise. So tabela hai. Kabhi masjid ka azan sunne mein aaya. So masjid ka baaju mein hai. All that kind of thing. At last we did get a break that he wanted money, and Kandahar guys had arranged it to be given in a hotel in the Bindi Bazaar area. He came, collected the money, went back, our people. It is called housing in the intelligence, Jitendra. We housed him. After that, we raided the places by taking him, tackling him. In Bashir Bagh, we recovered 5-6 AK-47, TNT shell, ammunition. Pakistanis were arrested. In Jogeshwari, we arrested Nepali couple with Glock pistols, hand grenade, $10,000. In Malad also, the guys were there. We arrested them and all that. 3 Pakistanis were never traced there because after having heard this kind of raid, they vanished. But that was a fantastic operation. I given complete credit to the Mumbai police, and all the units were involved. I will not say any one name. Everybody, Pradeep Sawant was involved, Pradeep Sharma was involved, Vilas Tupe was involved. So many people were involved. They were all doing different jobs.
श्योर सर, आपकी किताब में जो आपने केसेस मेंशन किए उनमें से कई सारे केसेस मैंने खुद एज ए क्राइम रिपोर्टर कवर किए हैं, और किताब को पढ़ते वक्त फिर से मैं एक बार उस पुराने दौर में पहुंच गया. हमारे पास समय सीमित है, इसके लिए इस बातचीत को यहीं पे समाप्त करना पड़ेगा. लेकिन इस जैसे जो किस्से कहानियाँ शिवानंदन जी ने इस बातचीत में हमें सुनाए हैं, उनसे कहीं ज़्यादा किस्से कहानियाँ, कई दिलचस्प वाक़ये, उनका जिक्र इस किताब में है. तो अगर आप दिलचस्पी रखते हैं मुंबई की कंटेम्प्रेरी हिस्ट्री में, ऑर्गेनाइज्ड क्राइम सिंडिकेट्स के बारे में जानकारी रखने में दिलचस्पी रखते हैं, तो इस किताब को ज़रूर पढ़ें, द ब्रह्मास्त्र अनलीस्ड. शिवानंदन जी, हमसे बातचीत करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you so much, Jitendra. I enjoy talking to you. Thank you.